Greetings everyone, it is Coach Wynn, and today we're actually going to do a core focused workout. We usually do a full body HIIT workout, but if you find that sometimes it's difficult for you to do ab workouts consistently because maybe they're a little boring, you get tired of just laying down on your mat and doing the same moves, this one is going to switch it up a little bit for you. Do this as its own workout, or you can add it to the end of a workout. Let's go ahead and warm up with our usual dynamic warm up because these moves are going to have you still using the other muscles for support, so I want you to feel warm. Let's do a quick boxer shuffle. We're going to do 30 seconds per exercise for the warm up, but it's going to be short and sweet so that we can get to the abs. If you are already warm and you're just adding this to the end of your workout, you can skip this and go forward until you see me come down to the mat, okay? Very nice. We got about 10 more seconds here in our boxer shuffle. We're just practicing shifting our weight, getting the blood flowing. We don't want to just wake up, 30 seconds are up, and then start contracting our core without giving the rest of our body a little love. Let's go ahead and do some plank walkouts. We do have some planks in the workout, but then again, this will get us used to bearing a little bit of weight on our shoulders, stretching out our hamstrings. 30 seconds here. You can come up just about halfway. When you come down, practice holding that plank for that split second. Come up about halfway and repeat. Take your time on these. Feel the difference in how your core feels as you come out, as you come back. Try to keep your hips from swaying side to side. That's also going to be a good practice for the rest of our workout. And that's 30 seconds already. I'm also going to have you do some glute bridges. Coming down to the floor. This is, pardon Chico, this is also good for engaging your core when you do these glute bridges, believe it or not. You're going to have your hands maybe behind your head. Before that, if you're not sure where to put your feet, set them down by your side nice and straight. Have your heels reach about your middle finger, and that's usually a good place for your heels. And then you're gonna contract your core as if someone is punching you in the stomach, and you're trying to tuck your spine under, or your tailbone under rather, and then you're gonna lift up and back down. 30 seconds here. Go work. Breathe it out. This is stretching out my quads for me as well. I know most people probably don't have you warming up for a core workout, but I don't assume that everyone is starting at the same place. So if you're not warm, I want your body to feel good. Nice work. We got maybe 10 more seconds here. Really squeeze those glutes and keep your core contracted the whole time. 3, 2, 1, good job. Last exercise, I'm gonna have you do some bird dogs. No, it's a silly name, but you're gonna extend your left arm forward and your right leg back, and we're gonna combine that together. 15 seconds here. Good job. You can point your foot. Sometimes that helps you engage your hamstrings a little more. 3, 2, 1, other side. So you're gonna bring out your right arm now and straighten your left foot. Lifting and coming back. Lifting and coming back. Again, the key here is to keep your hips nice and stable. You don't wanna wobble. Try to keep your head straight, your back straight, and your hips level. Very nice. Again, if you want a little more hamstring engagement, try to point those toes. Try to reach that front arm up as high as you can. And down, good job. All right, just a nice quick warm up, not to drag it out. So first exercise, we're gonna do a pike to bear. What does that mean? You're gonna be basically in a downward dog position, hips in the sky, hamstrings stretched out. If you can, have your heels on the floor, and then you're gonna come down into a bear position. They call this the bear. In the bear, you're basically making the shape of a box with your arm, your core, and your thigh. And then your knees are raised slightly above the ground here. You're gonna go into the plank, into the bear. We're gonna do my usual format, which is 45 seconds, 30 seconds, and 15-second rounds per exercise. So for this first round, we're gonna do 45 seconds of every exercise. Let's go in 3, 2, 1. Going into a pike and down. Pike and down. Pike and down. When you come down, you should really feel your lower abs working to bring you stable into that bear position, and then feel them working again to press you up. We're keeping everything stable, slow, and controlled. When you're down here, also keep in mind that your shoulders should be right above your wrists. If you don't feel it in your core quite yet, try to get your knees a little closer to the ground, but still without them touching the ground. Very good. Almost there. Give me 5, 3, 2, 1. Good job. And again, this is one that might not get you super duper sweaty, but it'll still work your core and it'll be nice and dynamic. Second exercise. Speaking of dynamic, if you see me looking over here, that's where the clock is. If you see me looking over here, that's where my workout is written down. But speaking of dynamic, we got roll-ups. This is one of my favorite ab exercises because it kind of works your brain. You're gonna start laying down on your back. You're gonna get a little momentum by bringing your knees close to you. Your hips might come off the ground. And then you're gonna plant your feet down. And then you're gonna stand up. So use that momentum and stand on up. If you need to modify, that's okay. Get as far forward as you can, and maybe you plant that hand to help you come up here. But you'll still want to think about engaging your core. Let's start the time. To stand yourself up nice and straight and lift up your body. You're using your core even in moments throughout the day where you're not thinking about it, like to get up out of your bed. So this is great practice for something like that. Think about just your future self wanting to get out of bed with ease. If you're curious when I do this, I've done it enough that I can plant my feet wide, or I can plant my feet close together and I still come up. But if you're struggling, you can play around with your foot placement and see what's easier for you. And you're done. Great job. I told you, dynamic. Third exercise, we got hip dips. So you're gonna come back down onto your mat. And I'm trying to also give you some exercises that give you a break on your wrist. They're kind of not hard to avoid, but they're common in ab exercises to be on your wrist. So I'm trying to give you all a little break. This third exercise, 45 seconds, we're gonna do hip dips here and here. Since this is a bilateral exercise, I'm gonna have you do 30 seconds each side. In 3, 2, 1. Sorry y'all, I got a needy dog. And if this is hurting your wrist like it's hurting mine, you can fold it over and give yourself a little more cushion. Good job. Very nice. You bring your hips down, lifting them back up. You should feel your obliques. I sure do. And I think that's 30 seconds from when we started, even though I took my little break to fold my mat over. I'm not gonna extend it for y'all too. Let's do the other side, giving myself a quick little cushion by folding my mat over. Let's go in 3, 2, 1, 30 seconds. Sit down and up. The top leg is kind of relaxed. If you need support and modification, you can spread it out behind you. But otherwise, go ahead and stack it, and that makes it more challenging. You're holding more body weight and shifting more body weight as opposed to spreading it out with the modification. Let's go 3 more seconds. And down. Woo. I feel my obliques doing those for sure. So that's our 3 exercises for the first circuit. We're gonna do that again. Each exercise, shaving off a little bit of time, because I like to make people feel like the workouts are downhill and getting a little easier. So we're going back to pike to bear. Let's go in 3, 2, 1. Pike it up, bear, down. Pike, bear. Pike, bear. Don't forget your breath. It's part of where your strength is going to come from. Strength and control. When your breath is not controlled, your body panics, and it's harder to be intentional about your movement. So exhale into that pike. Maybe inhale on your way down. And you're already done with those 30 seconds. Let's do roll-ups. And then doing the exercises more than one time helps you practice with them. So let's try these roll-ups. Coming back and starting our time. Go work. Stand up nice and tall at the top for me. My posture could feel a lot better. So trying to hold myself accountable by being a good example to y'all. Go work. Roll up. These are fun to me. I know y'all might not like them as much, but with time, as you master them, just again, it's not a boring, typical ab exercise. And time. Great job. Third exercise, hip dips. Let me cover my bony forearm and give it some cushion. I also have a super thin mat as a travel mat. So that's why. 20 seconds this time instead of 30. Hopefully y'all can still see my form with Chico in the way. 3, 2, 1. Lower down, lift up. Lower down, lift up. Good job. These are a struggle for me. I don't do core as often as I should. I do a lot of weightlifting, and that engages your core quite a bit, but like any exercise, they could use some dedicated attention to, or any body part can use some dedicated attention and being intentional about it. I don't know where we're at. Let's get 5 more seconds. I think we did 20. Switch over to the other side. Give yourself cushion if you're on a thin mat like me. No shame, just modifications when you need it. And 3, 2, 1, let's go. Good work. Remember, this one has a modifiable option if it's helpful to you. Take it. 10 more seconds. That's the nice thing about these virtual workouts. You can play them over and over and see how you progress. And down. Good work. Straighten out my mat. 3 exercises complete for the second time. Now we're gonna do the third round. Third and final round. We shaved off about 15 seconds each, roughly last time. So now we're gonna do another 15 seconds off. Let's go from pike to bear. 15 seconds in 3, 2, and 1. Pike, bear, pike, bear. Feel a little not square for my bear. So I adjusted. Let's go in 3, 2, 1. That one's always a quick round. You're like, are you sure we're done? I'm sure, but you're welcome to keep going and pause it if you'd like. Roll ups. Let's go in 3, 2, 1. Roll down. Stand up. 15 seconds. Good work. We're already almost finished. And down. Good job. Got those hip dips. In my opinion, these are the hardest ones. Some of y'all might be saying, no, the roll-ups are definitely harder. All subjective. 15 seconds in 3, 2, and 1. Let's go. Down and up. Very nice. Pardon my heavy breathing. At least I'm trying to be intentional about it. 2 and 1. Oh, great job. Other side. 15 seconds. 15 seconds. And then we're going to be halfway through this core workout. Let's go in 3, 2, 1. Try to raise that hip up as high as you can. Maybe it even touches the floor every time you dip. A little pinch in there on my skin. And 3, 2, 1. Good job. Very nice work. We are halfway through. I got 3 more exercises for you. I'm just asking you to do it for 3 more rounds. So, first exercise, the beloved mountain climbers. So we're gonna stay down here on our mat, but we're gonna flip over into plank position. A lot of people hate mountain climbers because the movement can feel tiring without too much of a point. It's gonna still feel tiring, but try to be, again, more intentional about it by making sure that your hips are a little stable. A lot of times when people do mountain climbers, 1, their shoulders are back here because they're tired of holding their body weight, even though having it evenly distributed can make it a little bit more comfortable, but our natural inclination is to kind of push ourselves back. So try to stay over your wrists to make it more intentional of a mountain climber. And then also, instead of like letting your hips kind of sway side to side and haphazardly bringing your knees in, try to bring your knees straight up along the side of your body, okay? Not on the outside, but almost like you're trying to get it to touch your elbow. Maybe even get it to touch your elbow. Enough of me yapping, 45 seconds. Let's go in 3, 2, 1. Drive those knees up. If you need to modify, you can also just try to get that knee as close as possible to your elbow, but otherwise, drive it nice and intentionally forward, controlling the motion of those hips. They'll naturally move a little bit, but again, you don't want it to be all over the place. That's where you'll really start feeling your core. So when you start getting tired, you go like this, but stay down, stay controlled. You only got maybe 15 seconds left. Let's go. Breathe it out. We're almost there. 5, 3, 2, 1. Good job. Woo! My shoulders start to burn too. Next exercise, we're gonna give our shoulders and wrists a little break. We got leg lifts. Yeah, and you wanna be intentional about these by not just lifting your legs up and down, and maybe you feel it, maybe you don't. Start by pressing your belly button into the ground. That will require you to, excuse me sir, sit on your bed. I promise he has a bed right here. This will require you to tuck your hips so that your back can be flush to the ground. Sometimes when we're just naturally laying down, you can probably stick your hand under your back. You wanna press your back down so that if someone was trying to, I don't know, if a tiny person was trying to make their way under your back, they couldn't get through because your back is pressed against the ground. You can also have your hands under your butt to support that, but the goal is for the back to be flat. You're gonna straighten your legs up into the air, and then we got 45 seconds of bringing it down and bringing it back up. Good work. I gotta do math to know when we're gonna stop. It's always awkward when the stopwatch, we start on an awkward number. I think I got it. I think I can do it. And again with this, you want to be very intentional with your breath. I like to exhale when I contract because my body is making less space in my diaphragm, just ever so slightly when we do this crunch. So it feels intuitive to breathe out since there's less space for air. And technically, even on the way down, you want to contract your core so that it stays engaged and you're not using your lower back. But if you just need some type of gauge of how to breathe when, That would be helpful. And I think we're over time. Yeah, I tried really hard to keep us right on the timing. Third exercise, 45 seconds. We got what I call shoulders, knees, and toes. Unfortunately, it is not the fun game. But we're gonna be in plank position again. Sorry to your wrists. Hopefully, you know, with time, you kind of gets used to it. And having wrist strength does not hurt. You're gonna go ahead and get into plank position. You're gonna take your right arm to your left shoulder, left arm, right shoulder, right arm, left knee, left arm, right knee. So just opposite. And you wanna keep everything nice and controlled. My mat is wiggling a little bit because it's not really gripping the floor, but I'm doing my best to keep everything stable. So you don't wanna, again, turn your hips too much. You wanna make sure that everything is as stable as possible. Good job. And even when you feel unstable and you fix yourself, that's part of the workout. So don't stress if it feels a little bit wobbly. Even the effort of stabilization is a big part of what your abs are there to do, stabilize you when you feel off balance. Good job. Now we're back to the top. 2 more rounds, shorter than the first one, and then we'll be done. And I'll try to stretch out your core a little bit too. So back to mountain climbers. 30 seconds this time, okay? I got it, you got it. I'm actually breaking quite the sweat. Let's go in 3, 2, 1, climb it up. Remember, shoulders are over those wrists. We're being nice and intentional about driving our knees. If you can drive them to your elbows, go for it. If not, you could probably be feeling your core driving just as far up as I am, about halfway. I think we got 6 more seconds here. Let's go. 3, 2, 1, good job. Very nice. Always gets even my biceps burn on that one. Let's go to our leg lifts. We're gonna lay down on your back again. Remember, your starting point is very key. You wanna make sure that you're already pressing down into the mat. Nice flat back. You can have your hands under your butt if you like. Leg lifts for 30 seconds in 3, 2, 1. Lower down. Nice and slow. Bring it back up with control. Don't hold your breath. Breathe it out. Maybe point your toes. Maybe flex on the way up. Point on the way down. Flex on the way up. Makes the movement feel a little more fluid for me. And point on the way up, flex on the way up. Almost there. Let's get 5 more seconds. 3. And down. Good job. Now, we got shoulders, knees, and toes. 30 seconds. Back to that plank position. Nice and controlled. Hopefully your space is a little more stable than mine. Mine's a little wiggly, so that's okay. A little extra workout. Let's go in 3, 2, 1. Opposite hand to opposite shoulder. Opposite hand to opposite knee. Opposite hand to opposite foot. Very nice. Yeah, I can see my beads of sweat coming down to the mat. And I'm breathing here too, almost with each tap. I'm trying to take a breath, maybe exhale, maybe inhale. And nice, good job. And then that is our second round. Done. Let's do 15 seconds of each exercise to close it out. I know, it went by fast. Time flies when you're having fun. I don't know where I'm turning to because we got mountain climbers. So let me get myself back to where I was. Just 15 seconds this time. Let's go in 3, 2, 1, let's go. Try to drive your knees up as far forward as you can for this last and final round. Give it all you got, only 5 seconds left. Good job. Woo. And then we're gonna come down, giving those wrists a break to our leg lifts again. Good job. I'm sweating a lot now. I said it wasn't a HIIT workout, but it could be. Hands under your butt if helpful to close the distance between your lower back and the floor. Feet up, pointed, lower them down, 15 seconds. Take your time, especially with core work. The more intentional and slowly you do the exercise, oftentimes the more you get out of it. That can apply to anything, but definitely core. Time flies. Last exercise, shoulders, knees, toes. Let's get it. 15 seconds. In 3, 2, 1. Let's do it. Shoulders, knees, toes, shoulders, knees, toes. I think we're done. Yeah. Great work, y'all. And I stood up. You can too. We're gonna come back to the floor to stretch your core. But I want you to go ahead and bring both hands over your head. Keep them clasped here on your next exhale. Take an inhale first, then press your hands out to the sky. Very nice. Release your hands down, clasp them behind your back, pull down, opening up that chest. We did a lot of work where your chest was closed forward, so we want to open that up. And then we're gonna gently release your hands, make your way back down to the mat, and you're gonna lay down. We're not gonna stay face down here for long. You're gonna bring your hands by your side, and then you're gonna press yourself, just the upper body, back up. People is looking at my sweat enough. Kind of gross. Try to bring your shoulders away from your ears here to elongate, and keep your neck wherever it's comfortable. You might feel good to tilt back, or that might feel a little funky, and neutral to keep you a little more comfortable. That's where it is for me. This is nice and stretching out my hip flexors too. You can also play around with angles, maybe look over your right shoulder. Very good. And look over your left shoulder to balance it out. Curl your toes for me, and then sit back one time, stretching out those shoulders again. I want you to stay in this position for a moment and really express gratitude for your body, because we all are here for different reasons, but you might have come here because you're frustrated with how your body looked, or you came here because you wanted to keep your body strong. I really want to encourage folks to do everything from a place of love, and that includes when you exercise, okay? So exercise is not a punishment for what you ate or what you did and didn't do. It is really, for me, and hopefully for you too, a gratitude practice that we move because we get to, not because we have to. And in taking care of ourselves, we're able to take care of each other. I hope you enjoyed this nice little core circuit. If you did, please hit a like, hit the like button, maybe give me a comment about how you feel, and definitely subscribe to see more workouts. Again, my name is Coach Wynn, and I'm happy to be here, and I'm happy you're here too.